Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a closer look at the Nao of Brown. This is by Glyn Dillon, I believe, and is published by, it doesn't say on here, Self-Made Hero. The book says here, the artwork makes me jealous, the storytelling makes me even more jealous, and the watercolour painting just pisses me off. In my opinion, Glyn is the greatest English comic artist working today. Back in the early 1970s, when I was drawing comics, it was all testosterone, guns and breasts. Today, I'm happy to see graphic novels are as important to the art world as anything you might see in the Tate Modern. This book is a prime example. The Nao of Brown is Herman Hesse meeting Norman Rockwell for a wonderful weekend of watercolour painting. The result is simply ravishing. Now, that doesn't tell you anything about the story, but that's just a quote by Jamie Hewlett. I don't know if it's got a further synopsis. Yeah, it's a little bit of further synopsis inside, so let's go through that. It says, Nao Brown suffers from OCD, but not the hand-washing, overly tidy type that people often refer to jokingly. Nao suffers from violent, morbid obsessions, while her compulsions take the form of unseen mental rituals. Working part-time in a designer toy shop while struggling to get her own illustration career off the ground, she's still searching for that elusive love, the perfect love, and in meeting the man of her dreams, she realises dreams can be quite weird. So I actually found this in my local comic shop, Plan 9, and it was reduced to, I want to say, like £10 or something like that. It's a really well built book, that's what caught my eye at first, and the fact that she's got a washing machine on her head, that was kind of crazy. So let's take a closer look at the book itself, and then we can come back and discuss my thoughts. On the dust jacket, we've got the Nao of Brown, and this is Nao with a washing machine on her head. On the edge here, we've got Nao of Brown, Glyn Dillon, which is the writer, and the logo for the printing house, which is Self-Made Hero. This is recommended retail price $16.99 UK or $24.95 US. And it also has this red around the side, very similar to what kind of like a Bible would have in like gilding. We do have a bit of a kind of a map inside. And we've got a little bit here about the author and about the story in here. On the main book itself, we have this sort of indented sort of circle, and that's to do with the whole kind of Buddhism stuff inside. Indented the Nao of Brown along the side here, and again sort of creator and logo, and then just a kind of plain back overall. I believe this is a sewn spine, so it lifts up really well. I had no issues as far as kind of reading it. My copy was a little bit kind of rubbed on here, so the red's not perfect, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's a proper sewn spine. You can see that really easily here, how it lies out flat. So I really enjoyed the art overall here. It's a little bit, I guess, kind of sketchier and kind of muted, but it plays into that kind of slice of life style thing, that it's not a bright superhero kind of story. And the emotions are shown really well in this as well. You know, how she looks kind of intrigued, and then she looks really happy, and then she's kind of like poking at his kind of jacket and feeling kind of proud of herself type thing. Like, it's the kind of emotional looks and stuff you would get in real life, and I just really like that. I can't complain about the build quality at all. As I say, the book just spreads completely flat. There's no gutter here whatsoever. And it's just a really well laid out kind of book as far as the the art and the, let's say, the build of the book itself is concerned. Now, towards the back of the book, we basically get a book written by her. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be this book, or if she's supposed to have kind of written a secondary book. Sorry, it's not written by her, it's written by the boyfriend. And we get, as I say, some excerpts from that book, which is really interesting to kind of read. And then we get a kind of an after story of kind of what she goes on to do, so I don't want to spoil that kind of stuff. We get acknowledgements at the back. And then that's pretty much it. It's been a really interesting read overall. I really enjoyed the sort of slice of life characterisation to this. The 2 or 3 characters that we focus on throughout. So basically, as I say, Nao, her kind of boss at the shop, a couple of sort of Buddhist people that she kind of interacts with, and then her kind of partner as well. It's really interesting, as I say, to see how that all kind of flows through. I didn't know anything else about OCD, so this has been a massive eye-opener to me as far as what OCD actually is and how far that can go. She basically has these outright sort of illusions or thoughts in her head that she is going to hurt people, like extremely hurt people. So she'll see someone doing something that's like a little bit frustrating, and then like she'll imagine that she's going to like murder them with a pen or something, and then she sees herself as like black and white, like evil, and she's like, I'm good, you know, my mum believes I'm good, my friends believe I'm good, I'm not bad, I'm good, and like she has to kind of rebuild that structure every single time that she has one of these kind of crazier thoughts or kind of illusions, and you kind of really feel for her as the story kind of goes on, but at the same time sometimes you feel that she's a little bit manipulative of others, in the sense of like she doesn't care or give them back the same level that she's gaining. It's kind of hard to explain. We find further throughout the book basically that her partner has his own issues, and we don't really get them fleshed out, and as I say, I believe that's because the attention's all on her and not on him, and certain things kind of happen as the story kind of goes on. But I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of Japanese culture. She's kind of half Asian. She's kind of a bit of a mix of both kind of worlds. There's a few different kind of things around Buddhisms and different kind of like religious and sort of moral takes on things. And so we basically just get this slice of life story about her working her job, trying to get a boyfriend, and the troubles that she has with her OCD. And it's a really interesting book. The art is great overall, and I can't really recommend it enough. I'd put it along with It's a Bird and some of those other books that I've read that have been more thought-provoking slice of lifestyle books, and as I say, the thought-provoking part is a big part of that. I don't want to just read, you know, somebody went to the shops, they bought their food, they came home, they watched TV, like that's not interesting, you know. But if they do all that and say, you know, they're blind and they're missing a leg, you know, then it becomes a much more interesting story, right? It becomes much more like, how does that person handle everyday life things with those restrictions? In the same way, like, how does someone live normal when they've got superpowers, you know? So it's an interesting kind of topic. Let me know below, guys, if you've checked this out, what your thoughts were overall, and if you know, potentially plan on checking it out off the back of this sort of closer look review. As always though, guys, like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe and rate if you want to see more videos like this one. Share with your friends if you think that they'd love to hear a little bit more about an independent book like this. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.